Hello, welcome to the home of the Ghost Owl, and here we are continuing our Imperial Testing Station playthroughs. So, we're in the last testing station now in the Vermilious Gap. This time we're in the eastern Vermilious Gap area, and we're doing Imperial Testing Station number 10. Now, this is the location of where we are. There are going to be 2 guards. 1. And 2. And in we go. Now, this testing station is a bit of a trap. Very early on, you're going to get a mission to come to this testing station. I strongly recommend, having done it myself, that you don't come to this testing station unless you have full slaver gear, scout or heavy, and full slaver level weapons, right, which I believe is the adept, right? So yeah, also artisan, the steel weapons, right? So you need steel, right, for this slaver scout gear, slaver heavy gear, and the artisan weapons. This testing station is tough, particularly if you're in the iron level, i.e. the Kirab gear. I have done it. You can come and see me doing it with Kirab gear on my Dune Awakening playthrough. But it was hard, it was long, it was grindy. Make sure you've got respawn beacons, tons of bandages, tons of ammo. Yeah, at Kirab level, bear in mind you don't have many skill points and everything as well, many abilities. You've probably only got 2 abilities as well. So please bear that in mind when we're watching this, is that I don't recommend coming here unless you do have that steel gear. So it's doable, and if you want a challenge, then feel free to come in the iron level, the Kirab level gear. But it will be a little bit more a challenge. Obviously, we are very over-geared for the level, for the area, so this isn't a problem for us. We don't even have to be careful. Just one of those things. But as I say, if you want to see me do it properly, then go watch my Dune Awakening playthrough, and you can actually see me do it with the correct gear for the level. As a result, I don't rate this as a good testing station to farm. I think if you're in this level, testing station 197 is the place to farm. This is also long for the amount of loot and everything you get. So in terms of the time it takes you to get through versus what you get from it.
Number 10. I am Dr. Silas Green.
So there are plenty of enemies.
Identify yourself. Where's my back?
See, most of them are shielded. Plenty of water though. So water's always a good thing. We'll pick up the... Can we not get that? Why can't I get that? We'll climb the wall instead. There we go. Didn't want to pick it up. Okay, and again, you've got to make sure you check all of your bookcases to make sure there's no hidden doors. Okay, we come into another area here. There's the guy. Make sure there's no chests and things to pick up. And you'll see you come around the corner and, ooh, look, there's more stuff here. And that leads elsewhere. So the question is, do you go there or do you come through here? This is a dead-end room, so you come here before going the other way. So make sure you do that room, and then you go back on yourself and you come down this way.
I see someone. Someone here.
Okay, make sure you're checking all around, and there you go. That's why, because there's a chest. And there's plenty of water again. So you shouldn't go thirsty in most testing stations. Though depending on how long you're going to take, you still want to bring a Leader John with you. But yeah, definitely if you're gonna do any of these and you're at that level, respawn beacons placed outside are incredibly useful. Okay, you can either go down or you can go this way. I recommend you go through this door first. I recommend you don't miss your first shot. I recommend you don't miss any of your shots in reality. But you come this way, you get this chest. There's a room here. If you need ammo, tons of scrap metal for ammo. Tons of scrap metal. Like I said, I am being a bit more reckless than you would be if you were coming through here. Obviously, if you're teched into melee, it plays quite differently. You know, I am teched into ranged combat. So again, there's nothing here. There's nothing worth coming around here for. Okay. Right, these are the ones that are the pain, which are you'll find those are the guys that you'll find difficult in, and why this is difficult in Kirab gear. Right, it is quite difficult to deal with these guys. If you've got a disruptor, they hit like wet noodles. I've got a drill shot here, but imagine this was a disruptor. If you've done the trooper things, and I recommend you do the trooper things as quickly as possible, get the Shiga wire, stun, bring out your disruptor. Alright, so imagine that wasn't a drill shot, that's disruptor. Use the Shiga wire, stun him, and then use a disruptor to follow up. And ideally, it may be a grenade before that as well. So come in, chuck the grenade, Shiga wire claw, and then disrupt them until they die. You'll definitely break the shield down. If you break the shield down with a disruptor, and you notice you're running out of ammo because maybe you're only on the lower level, then obviously you can immediately switch to either a Karpov or the snub nose or whatever to finish them off. Okay, more stuff to interact. You can go in there, but there's nothing in there apart from plants. More ammo, but there is a chest on this side. So don't forget that. If you do run down the right-hand side, make sure you come back round because there's a chest on the left. Okay, we've got more people here. Another shielded guy. Another shielded guy. Okay, and again, a running machine. Always loot these. Complex machinery. You'll need that all the way through, even into the end game, the complex machinery. So definitely worth taking. Saves you having to go farm it from the complex machinery places. Okay, so this is all clear. And then we keep going. So you kill these guys. It is a dead end, but you're killing them to get to the chest. There is a chest. It is worth it. Obviously more lore stuff if you want to do your lore. You're actually coming back round to go down these stairs. Okay, some more wreckage. Normally there's stuff around a lot of these places that you can loot scrap metal, which is good if you need ammo. So, like I say, you're not here to farm ammo. If you do need fuel cells, these are always good for fuel cells. You get a few. Again, don't recommend coming here to farm fuel cells. Better off using a mining laser on the ones outside. You'll get way more for the time you put in. But you do have a cabinet. Armor plating, always good again. That's something else that you'll need all the way through. And Heal Kit Mark IIs are worth picking up always. I even pick up the bandages, because most of the time you run around with bandages, they're just good enough. Until you do some of the harder content stuff. Okay, so finish these off. Got a chest over on the left.
I'm coming for you, scum!
You were coming for me, scum. So then you've got around here, there's another chest. before that, let's always clear the rooms before you move on, because you never know what you might find. So nothing here. You can see that's where we were walking before. Another chest over here. Fuel cells, water if you need it. As you can see, we're not using too much water. And then you've got a dead end here. Often in these dead end rooms, that's where you find your hidden bookcases, so make sure you do check out for those. Or fuel cells again if you need. Okay. Right, now's the time to come back over here. Some more scrap metal. And you've got another room over here. Keep picking up all the bits you can. And we reach this stage. Now, if you are even in slaver gear here, I strongly recommend you put respawn beacon down. This door does lock before you go through it. So, we got a sniper, and if you were at slaver level gear, you would have access to a sniper, the artisan sniper. So we're going to come through, just through the door, and it's going to lock, right? So you can't get back out till you killed everybody in the room. So we take this guy out, and this guy out. Right, and even the artisan one has poison, right? So you've done that. Then you see who else you can see, and I always come round to the left. And you can see who you've got. So I'm taking it carefully, kind of like you would. You've got another guy there. You can take him out, right? Take everyone out you can with the sniper. Now they're already alerted and they've got shields on, right? You've got another shielded guy coming here. Now we're going to drill shot him, but you're going to have to disrupt these guys, right? Either get them in melee, so ideally you come that way and you try and get them on their own, right? The aim is to try and aggro as few of them as possible. Alright, so then you would have meleeed that person. Right, we switch to sniper, and you go, right, do these guys still have their shields on? Yes, they do, right? So you can't snipe them effectively when they've got the shields on like that. Now we can lob a grenade in. But these are the guys that are going to be tough. When you come in, these are the guys that are going to be tough. So imagine you won't have a drill shot here, but you will have a disruptor. So there's the sugar wire disruptor. And then once you break the shield, you could switch to the snub nose or your Karpov to finish them off. Okay, and then you've cleared one side. That gives you space to move. Again, if you're coming here with your artisan sniper, you can snipe that one. You can snipe him before he gets his shield on. Right, he's already got his shield on. Now you can hit them to try and poison them. Fortunately, my gun's powerful enough to go through it, but you can hit them to poison them and then kite them a little bit as well. Okay, you come over here. More fuel cells if you need, and then we need to go down. So again, with the sniper, if you've got it, if you see the heavy machine gun dudes running around without a shield on, it's a really good time to shoot them, because you will poison them guaranteed straight away. Lots of loot down here, so it is worth coming down and checking everywhere. Loads of fuel cells if you want from places. Right, nothing else here, but looting this one. Complex machinery, always welcome. Again, you've got chest, cabinet. Cabinets are often good places for gear. Another place to get complex machinery. And a chest. That is pretty much everything. Okay, so some good loot down there. Definitely worth coming down for. Back to the top. And that door is open because we've now killed everybody and we can go through. Now, one thing you can do is, if you don't have tons of respawn beacons, you can go through there, pick your respawn beacon up, and keep going, because you will need it in a bit. So the real aim of that bit is, if you are coming through, is to try and aggro as few people as possible. If not teched into Swordmaster, you're teched into Mentat or Trooper or something like I am. So if you're teched into ranged, that's what you want to try and do. If you're teched into Swordmaster, I would find it more challenging personally, but I know that others prefer that type of gameplay style.
Stealing aging ground cars and tractors from the peons of gravity. Seeing fan is one thing. This takes no bordering on the legendary. I am very impressed. So impressed that I will overlook the equally high degree of stupidity Cedar has shown with this act.
Like I said, there's a lot of enemies in here. A lot of enemies. You know, in that case, you would have had to have dealt with a heavy gunner with a shield, 2 troopers, and potentially a third if you aggro him as well.
Are our targets, not the great houses. We deal in civilian vehicle only.
Another chest in here. So there's a lot of enemies, and you'll often have to deal with a lot of them at the same time. Like try and deal with like 2 heavy machine gunners, both with shields, when you've got rubbish gear, and it can be a challenge because it's just taking them down takes so long, and by then they've popped your shield with those heavy machine guns, and that's the challenge. Okay, so now we come through to here. You can already see the respawn beacons here, right? There's quite a few of them, and I recommend you use one again if you're not overgeared. This is a challenging room because the door locks behind you, and as soon as you go in, you will aggro everybody straight away, right? So you need to be really prepared when you go in. So again, if you're like me, a trooper, early game, got that sugar wire claw and that grenade. So for me, you go in, get the grenade on the first guy you see, run over and get behind here. Cut down the line of sight, right? Cut down as many areas as you can to be hit. You want to try and bait people, like the melee people, over. So he's got a disruptor, so he's going to pop your shield. He also throws a grenade. And that's it. The issue there is having to deal with that many people. As you can see, we had 1 melee guy, 2 normal troopers, both who can spam grenades, and then this person here will take more damage and also spam grenades. But do make sure you loot that guy, okay? Because he does have some gear and stuff on him. But yeah, this is a tough room when you're low geared. It will take quite a few shots to get those guys down. Okay, and that's everybody here, and this door opens up to the top. And given it's a tough testing station for low gear, and it's because of the area that it's in, kind of like it should be almost be in the Jabal Efrit area, but it's in the Vermillion Gap. We do have a star chest, so we take that. You need your ID band to get out, and you've got your bandages here. Okay, that's everything there. And we keep going. We keep going. There you go. And out we go.
Welcome to Imperial Desert.
So yeah, don't be fooled by how easy it looks. Or you will have bad guys in the area as well. Yeah, bad guys will have spawned for the way out. It definitely looks easier because I'm way overgeared, like way overgeared for it. But with a lot of preparation, you can get through it, even with a low gear. So you can actually watch me do it with the appropriate gear and weapons. Okay, so we make it. That's our way back out. You can see outside. So let's have a look what we got from it, though. The loot is good, right? 92 advanced servox, 45 particle capacitors. That's double any of the testing stations we've done so far. The difference is the difficulty. Like, for the time it would take you in the relevant gear to run through testing station 197, you could probably run it twice and get double the amount that you get there normally, which would be the same, right? So the place I like to farm, 197, is half the amount you get from testing station number 10. Right, you do get 29 complex machinery. That's very good. We also picked up a buggy PSU, another buggy PSU, and a buggy booster. Right, that's 3 buggy items, and I don't really tend to use a booster so much, but you've got 2 buggy PSUs there that you wouldn't have to make. Right, and in early game, the quicker you can get in a buggy, the better. Right, so once you do get that slaver gear, this is a quick way to getting items for buggy and building a buggy where you don't need that steel or the cobalt paste or the elements that you need to build it, right? So don't be afraid to use those damage things. We also picked up a Mark III sandbike booster. So you probably only got a Mark II sandbike at this point with a Mark II booster. We'll just take the Mark II booster, put the Mark III on. Instantly you got a Mark III booster. There's going to be plenty of blade parts and all of that sort of stuff. You're going to get plenty of armor plating as well. We picked up it's Kirab gear in there, right? We got Kirab, not Slaver, which is the downside. And again, you're getting iron dust. And again, it's planar suspensor belt, a leap suspensor belt. I don't really like the planar, so I would stick with the leap, still useful. But it's a Mark II power pack, Mark II shields. It's the same gear that you were getting at the other testing stations, which were significantly easier. We did get 3,300 Solari, but again, we got 2,000 Solari out of testing station 197. So if it takes half the time to run it, testing station 197 in that early mid-game would be still quicker to run to if you were farming Solari. Not that you should need to, but if you needed to. Did get some good blueprints here. There we did get the pseudo pulse sword. If that's the kind of thing that you like, and it's also iron, so quite easy to make. And also you got the sandbike engine Mark III, which is steel, so you will need that spice infused steel dust and so on. So that's stuff that you can't get here, right? You'd have to go into a different testing station or a different area that's got a star chest to be able to make that sandbike engine Mark III. So there you go. That brings us to the end of Imperial Testing Station number 10. It's in the Eastern Vermilius Gap, so you will have a quest here, but make sure you're prepared before you come into this one. In my view, for the region, this is the most difficult testing station in Haga Basin, right? Because it's asking you to come here in Kirab level gear, which is, for me, it's the right, almost the right tier, but you will feel undergeared in there. Whereas none of the other testing stations, by the time you reach them, you're going to be in the gear that you need to clear them fairly easily. So this one was kind of a bit of an outlier in terms of difficulty for when you're asked to go there. If you can resist going there for that mission, go get better gear and come back, you'll have a much easier time of it. Hope you found that useful. If you did, leave some comments below. You've been watching The Ghost Owl, and I'll see you soon for some more Imperial Testing Station playthroughs.